through that, or just kind of what the game was giving you?
Okay, game was giving me that pretty much.
Just to follow up the road trip with an effort and a performance like this overall as a team, just what were the keys to kind of bouncing back the way that you guys did?
Played harder, got organized on offense. We made shots, and we fought to the end.
What did you see from Paul as far as maybe kind of what unlocked for him?
I think he was aggressive. He saw some switches that he liked. He realized how they were playing him, I feel like, and then he kind of exploited the mismatches and then exploited his opportunities.
Kelly had 13 rebounds, 7 on the offensive glass, 3 steals, few and ones, getting the crowd into it. How valuable is the energy that he gives you guys, particularly here where it seems like he and the crowd sort of feed off each other?
Yeah, he does a good job. He found a home here, I feel like. And like you said, the crowd kind of feeds off of him. And he does a really good job of kind of pumping the crowd up and keeping them engaged. And it kind of keeps him engaged as well. So defensively, he goes out there and blocks shots and plays hard and gets offensive and defensive rebounds. And he makes all the energy plays while being himself as well.
It seems like lately you've done a much better job of controlling your pace and you're slowing down and then speeding up and sort of getting defenders on your back hip and finishing. Has anything changed for you in terms of that?
No, just kind of playing my game, not trying to rush, not trying to force as much. It was difficult for me just knowing that I was going to have to score a lot more, especially with Joel being out, sometimes Paul being out. But at the end of the day, I feel like if I just played my game, then, I'll be pretty good out there.
We've talked a lot about Justin the last couple of weeks when he's gotten more opportunity. Again, another one tonight, especially down the stretch once Kelly fouled out. Nick often talks about just how he seems to have a good feel and always in the right spot. How do you see and sort of observe that just when you're on the floor with him or when you're in the midst of a game?
Yeah, he's done a good job staying really level-headed. He has him to guard, and sometimes the best guard on the floor, deny him and play him to difficult and tough. So he does a good job at that. And then he shoots the ball really well. And then the thing that I've been pretty surprised about is his playmaking, the way he plays off the catch. He gets downhill and sometimes draws defenders and makes some pretty good passes. But I always mess with him dude, you was the #1 player in the country in high school for a reason. So show him what your game is, and he does a good job at that.
What did you make of him trying for that dunk in the fourth quarter?
Listen, all I'm gonna say is I don't understand. I feel like I thought he got pushed. I don't know what happened. He said he got pushed, but he wasn't really close. So I don't know. So somebody got to tell me the truth. Either he got pushed or he didn't jump that high. So
what's the key to carrying some of this over to tomorrow?
Just going out there and being aggressive, knowing that this is one game. It's a really good team that we beat, a very difficult team to beat. As you can see, they've only lost 8 games, and I think it's really tough because we've been playing the right way other than Denver. You know what I mean? Denver, they just came out and they just, they punched us in the mouth. We couldn't recover. But other than that, every single team that we played, we've been in late, in the game late, and we just couldn't close it out. So tonight we closed it out, and that was good for us.
The overall performance effort, all of that.
Yeah, I am. I think that obviously we played, really well, great effort. Did a lot of things we like to do well tonight. Thought everybody contributed. All the guys that played made a contribution, and it's a good bounce back. I think the reality of it is those games happen sometimes. Going to Denver and three games in 4 days, and again I. Said I didn't think it was an indication of how we've been playing, and they responded. They practiced good yesterday. They prepared great tonight, and played really good.
You've talked a lot recently about hammering out a lot of basic details and fundamentals and things. Tonight whenever they played zone, it felt like you guys got really good shots, right? So I guess how do you feel about that and generally the offensive process?
Yeah, the biggest thing the biggest step forward we've made in that is we don't come down and say zone and oh my God, it's zone. We waste 6 or 8 seconds. We're a little bit more committed to whatever the play call is. We don't have to necessarily stop and start running our zone stuff. 90% of our man-to-man stuff is going to work against that as long as you're committed to it and do it. And I think that's the step forward we made. We just kept going and playing in it. and that helps because it doesn't eat into the shot clock. And again, your guys play with a lot more conviction and confidence like that. And then again, I thought we really made, for the most part, really good reads. You know, like when we took it into traffic, we kicked it out most of the time. There was probably still 8 or 9. We probably would have liked to move one more time or whatever, but for the most part, we kept searching for the next one. And then I thought we had a lot of good attacking the rim against the closeouts. We'd swing, and thought maybe we were going to take a 3, but they'd recover, and then we'd be by them in the paint and making another play. So we read the game pretty good from the offensive end.
Nick, you talked all season about always getting some really good looks in your offense and just haven't been able to knock them down. Did it feel good tonight to finally kind of see some go through and move forward with the shooting?
I mean, obviously we shoot 50-some%. That feels a lot better than 25. Feels almost twice as good. Yeah, almost twice as good. Yeah.
Paul scored 21 of his points in the second half. What were you seeing that was different that you liked about the way he settled in, started to assert himself as the game continued on?
Yeah, I just think he certainly didn't get off to a great start, right? He just didn't, it just took him a minute to get into the flow, but I just think you could just tell the difference in his decision to make a play. Like, first he was hesitant, thinking, should I take it? Should I drive it? Should I, and then he just started playing in the second half, and he just started vaulting up on a lot of them and going. And I thought he made a couple of good drives as well, and some good pass outs. I think once he got into the lane, he started hitting out because they were sending bodies at him, obviously. But again, I just think whatever it was, it just took him a minute to get into the rhythm of the game. You could see the big difference in his assertiveness. Yeah.
When it comes to Gershon, there were quite a few times that he either had big defensive plays, was efforting hard for rebounds, even if he didn't get them. How much in a game like this, where it seemed like the energy had to be up the entire time, does having somebody like that who's efforting at that level out on the floor really mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's really pretty incredible because he's given away about five inches right on his matchup. So he's got to make that up somewhere, and he does that with a little bit of hustle. I thought it was unbelievable. He had a couple underneath our own basket that, the guy's whacking at him from every angle, about 3 guys in there, and he was still fighting like heck to hold on to the ball and try to get out and make a play with it. So he just plays really hard, man, and that's a big credit to him, and I think it's just kind of what he's been all year long.
Late in the game, Justin had a pretty audacious dunk attempt. You talked about Jared, being fearless as a rookie. Do you sense a little bit of that with Justin as well?
Yeah, he's really settling in and just playing. He's playing the game, and again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but he just seems to always be in the right place on offense, right? He filters up and the ball finds him, and he vaults up and shoots it. And if he filters up and the ball finds him and the defense is running at him, he turns the corner and goes in. And he's got kind of a few levels. Like he'll go all the way to the rim. He's got a little bit of enough of a pull-up if there's too much traffic there, right? And I think he's got a decent sense to get it out as well. So he's really playing like an undrafted rookie, I don't think. He's playing really well.
The effort in defending in transition was worlds better tonight than it had been lately. I guess, like schematically or philosophically, did anything change, or was it just pure?
Yeah, I mean, I know, again, broken record time, right? When your offense is so much better, right, your defense has a much better chance, right? You're taking and making shots. You're finishing at the rim. You're taking rhythm shots even, so at least, guys have some sense of, like, okay, there's the extra pass. That next pass is going up, and I can kind of start getting ahead of the game a little bit, getting back in transition. And then, you game plan because, man, if you're not ready to get back, Mitchell and Garland are pulling this one dribble over half court, right, or they're attacking you downhill. So, I mean, those guys are really good, man. And then I thought our guys, we tried our best to keep after them, but and even a lot of the threes Mitchell hit were, right behind ball screens, and we had a guy behind him and a guy in front of him, and he still was vaulting up and making them. He's really in a groove. Yeah.
Ray fouled out near the end. You put Justin Edwards in for those final 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Obviously critical defensive minutes. What did you see from him in those minutes, and why did you give him that opportunity?
Yeah, well, he was in the really good rhythm of the game. That was it's kind of the same position, right? It was It was him. I don't think there was any other choice really at that point of the game. But he did a good job. I mean, we tried to do a couple things just to help him a little bit out there in the end. But he, just because of a couple other things that happened, he had to go right in the middle of some of the critical guys that had the ball and stuff because, I mean, as you guys saw, Yabu was hanging on for it. He wasn't moving great and all this stuff, so we had to make a couple adjustments and get Justin in the middle of some of that stuff, and he did a good job. Again, he wants to play defense, and he tries really hard, and he's got some athletic ability and the tools to do it. That takes you a long way. Yep.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, everybody.